Hello, world. So yesterday we talked about a little bit about how limiting yourself, how we can go about doing that. Again, if you actually look at the vast universe that we have, that we live in, that we are part of, the vastness of it is so great. How could we limit ourselves, even by the whole idea of thinking that we are the highest beings, the only living beings, which would absolutely, that in of itself is a wild limitation because obviously we aren't the only living beings on even on this planet. So today I wanted to kind of talk about showing up. How are you showing up in the world? How are you showing up for yourself? This is something that I kind of came across yesterday. Something I've actually really been working on as I've been in my healing mode. Back in 2021, I had some stuff going on that I actually decided I was going to kind of back my way out of a situation instead of allowing my good deeds, or I should say, instead of allowing myself to feel like my good deeds, my hard work, pretty much all that I was working for towards was going towards somebody else. Back in 2021, I kind of decided, okay, I'm going to step back and remove myself from these situations and get out of the cycles that have been going on and just kind of let life do what it needs to do. At that time I was working on healing my money story, at least opening it up and kind of getting more of an understanding of it. And I myself have chosen not to have a partnership or date in over a decade at this point because I wanted to work on myself and make sure that I was in a way that is ready for something of those natures. And honestly, I didn't have an idea of what I wanted when it came to those things. So ending up in relationships I wasn't in the best ones because I wasn't aware of how I wanted to be or what I wanted out of the relationships. Something I have been working on since 2021, trying to get more of an understanding on those sorts of things, because love and money, as they say in manifestation and in other areas, love and money kind of fit together in a lot of ways. And while I was quite well with my money and always able to learn new things and take it and implement those into my life, doing that with the money ends of things was seemed fairly easy. But when love and money actually come together, and then kind of unwinding my story on the money side of things, I'm starting to see a lot more of where the patterns kind of fit together. And having removed myself back in 2021 and of a lot of the patterns that were building up, it's been quite interesting to see. So part of the other thing that I've been working on is I want people to see me the way I see myself. So how are we showing up in the world? How are you being seen in the world? Are you being seen in the way that you want to be seen? And yesterday I was out and about doing a few things, and I actually had to tell myself, because there's something that I had been putting off, putting off, putting off. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I still kept putting it off. And it was just kind of like, as it hit my head and I remembered, because sometimes I forget, that's why I would put it off. But as it hit my head and I remembered, I could sense myself just being, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to deal with it right now. And I actually verbally in my head told myself, okay, Jessica, how do you want to show up and be seen today? Is this part of what you should be taking care of? Is it something that I will feel better about if I do take care of it? And sure enough, just going up and getting that information that I needed really helped out. I learned a little bit about a process, learned how things go, and also I stood in the light of how I wanted to represent myself for the day. So that is something that is basically what I wanted to go over today. Um, this is another book, The Master Key System by Charles Haanel, I believe is how you say the name. This is another book that I have been reading. I have read all the way through. I'm actually now going through the practice. I actually got stopped at part 5 because I couldn't quite see the vision of what it was asking for. And as I read through it this morning, I realized I was actually interpreting it completely wrong. So this morning when I was able to do the visualization, I was able to see it much more clearer and easier. But in the book here, kind of going over just a little bit about what I said on there, how are we showing up in the world? We can cautiously use all the desirable characteristics with which we have been provided, and we can repress and refuse to allow the undesirable ones to manifest. So that to me basically is saying, again, how are you thinking about things, and are you actually showing up, the manifesting? Are you showing up in the way that you want to be seen? Or are you showing up in a way that other people see you, therefore you see yourself that way as well? So something to work on, making sure that people see you as you want to be seen or as you see yourself. I know that's, again, like I say, that's something that I have definitely been working towards and something that I'm pushing myself to do on a regular basis. So if you need any help in those areas, I can definitely help. And that is all I have for today. You have a wonderful day.